I'm Jesse Gilmore and welcome to my first video for my first assessment. I've been concentrating on the First World War for this assessment, so I thought I'd continue that with this video and concentrate on the most iconic battle or campaign in the First World War for New Zealand, which was the Gallipoli campaign. As part of this activity, I will be giving 3 photos for students to choose from. I've done an example here, so the aim of this activity is to identify the iconic New Zealand photo during the Gallipoli campaign and describe the possible impacts it had on New Zealand society and New Zealand's identity overall. So for my first photo, I have got men in the trenches in Gallipoli. Now, a bit of information about this. This is all I expect is about that much writing. So I've obviously titled what it is. It is New Zealand soldiers in 1915 in the Gallipoli campaign in Turkey, in the trenches. I explain what the trench warfare was and the powerful symbol that it actually held for the absolute horror that the soldiers experienced. A lot of it was shell shock, was the mud, was the rotting and the smell, and it was absolutely terrible for them, and what the impact it was on the men, but not only the impact on the men, but the impact on the women and children that these men returned to after finishing the campaign, after being part of the First World War, because it wasn't just the men that suffered, it was the women and children back home that suffered when the men returned, if they returned at all. Obviously there is the hurt from the men never returning, but also what they like to call shell shock back then, which was actually post-traumatic stress disorder. And I don't expect too much, I just expect maybe around a paragraph. I just got 4 points here. One just explaining what it actually is, one talking about what trench warfare was, the shell shock, and then this bottom one really just depicting the horror and the impact it had on society. So for the students, I would split you into different groups, and in your groups you can choose 1 of 3 pictures. The first picture is of the iconic poppy. The second picture is the Māori battalion doing the haka. And the third picture is all the graves of those soldiers that died. Now, obviously there's a lot more graves here than just New Zealanders, but a lot of these were New Zealand and Australians, and a lot of what this campaign and even these pictures depict are a lot of what we call ANZAC, which is the New Zealand Australian Army Corps. So in your groups, I want you to come together, you can brainstorm together, you can use the internet, and together you can come up with at least 4 points of what the major impacts were, of what the picture is, and what the impact would be on society. And I don't just want you to use the information you got from the internet, but think yourself of what you believe some of the impacts would be on society, on their families, and on the soldiers themselves. Okay, thank you.